Sharks come victorious. Let me try it again. The Sharks go to Anaheim and are victorious in an overtime winner by Luca Cagnoni. We'll break this one down. See which kids look good and why Daniel Gushchin should be on the NHL. I mean, it's obvious now. Let's talk about it right now here on Teal Town After Dark. Good evening, everyone. It's September 26th, 2024. Who does these graphics? Idiots. Welcome to Teal Town After Dark. This is your live interactive Sharks post-game. We do this after every game, so if you want to be part of the show, chat with us and fellow hockey fans all over the world and in Sharks territory. You can also follow us on all the socials where we gift the games, including Twitter. It's still called Twitter, Elon. Sorry. Threads, and you can find us always at tealtownusa.com for now. Support the pod, you can do that a couple ways. You can hit us up on Venmo at tealtownusa, or if you're watching us live right now, you can hit us up on the super chat donation with your comments on tonight's game. With that, it's preseason, folks. You know, we're everybody's asleep. We got a lot of things to talk about. We may touch on a certain baseball team, but good evening, everyone. Hope you are having a good Thursday night. We'll talk about the Sharks going to Anaheim for their first road preseason matchup, a rematch of Tuesday night's tragic loss to the Ducks. In this one, 4-3 was that final. In Anaheim, it would be a 3-2 final for the Sharks being victorious over the Anaheim Ducks. You got things going here. You got Tristan Robbins with the goal. You got Klim Kostin with the tying goal, crashing the net on the power play late in the game. You had Daniil Gushchin with 2 assists. Another 2-point night for Daniil Gushchin. I'm sorry he's not 6'5", but my God, let's let the kid play. Let's give him a freaking chance, for crying out loud. I mean, seriously. And looking at some of the comments in the chat, Gushchin was great, though. Yes. Let's see. Eklund owning the puck in his OT shift was gorgeous. Really utilizing his size. Well, yeah. If you have the size, go for it. You know, at this point, why not? I mean, seriously. I mean, that's if you're gonna have the size, use it. If you're gonna have agile and skill like Cagnoni and Gushchin do have, use that as well, because it's going to take a whole team effort to get this through the season and be successful. Let's see what else we got. Tyler Myers, Cagnoni's going to be fun with the Barracuda. Goodness, that kid is smooth. If he were 6'3", be top pairing guy. Yeah, again, if they were taller, they'd be in the NHL right now. And it sucks that it's that way, but it is what it is, unfortunately, on that. Yeah, and Gush NHL, I can't be convinced. I can't be convinced otherwise right now. Yeah, I really like Gush, and he's been doing well. He's done well when he's been given the opportunity in the NHL. And it's like, what else does the kid need to do? I mean, come on. So, Lucy saying, trying not to get too hyped for Cagnoni, but he looks amazing too. Yeah, he's definitely got spunk. Imagine pairing him with a mobile-ish D with size. Yeah. You know, let's we'll see it. Grant Failer, Cagnoni looks like he could play on our third player. Super confident with the puck, rarely makes mistakes. Yeah. I mean, so we'll see that. How does one get an invitation to the Teal Town Discord server? You contact Hockey Jerk. He is still around. Don't worry, folks. Hockey_jerk, or I think it's hockeyjerk10 at gmail.com. I think that's what it is. So, hey, California Cruising. I haven't had any AOL issues for a while now. I'm knocking on wood there. So, Appreciate it, and thank you for being a longtime supporter. Jules is half asleep, and she says hi, and isn't the future Teal? Oh, the future is Teal. Future is Teal. Now, was everything all happy go lucky and everything? No. No. There were times where it's like, oh my gosh, that didn't look great. And up until that Costin power play goal, power play that wasn't, as fantastic as it was the last, the previous two games or the rookie tournament, So you did have Sharks going 1-for-5 on the power play. So not horrible. They dominated a faceoff circle, over 68% in the faceoff circle. So good to see that. Penalties, weren't the great, but the PK did its job. It allowed Anaheim to only go 1-for-4 in the power play through the night. Definitely, I would say more so a junior or Barracuda-sized roster. I think a lot of us were talking about in the Discord. It's definitely not exactly starting lineup, but Cruising asking what was up with the shootout. I know in a lot of cities they are still doing the shootout for purposes of showing off the shootout. I know they did in Utah the other night as the way of saying, well, if the game is still tied after 5 minutes, we do a shootout and giving them a preview of that. I don't know about Anaheim. I'm not sure what they were doing, but it is what it is. And so I think I forget who said it in our Discord. The Ducks may have won on aggregate. So Tyler Myers saying Furlong was a real nice surprise. Not flashy, but he played a solid defensive game. He had his moments, but he definitely had some takeaways and broke up some plays and blocked some shots. I mean, it was not bad. More than anything, tonight's game kind of gets me psyched for the Barracuda more so because we're expected to see a lot more of these guys to be on the CUDA. Yes, Costin was in the lineup. Ty Dellandrea will be in the lineup. Ty Dellandrea had a nice night. Didn't get on the score sheet, but definitely looked like he was going to be a good one, a good pickup for for the Sharks. I mean, he played over 20 minutes tonight. He had the most time on ice? Yeah, outside Cagnoni and Furlong, Ty Dellandrea had the most time on ice. Definitely for the forwards wise, for that matter too. Giovanni Smith had 9 minutes. Brandon Coe had 9.5 minutes. I want to say he had power play time too, if that was the case. Just I don't know. But hey, this is where you're not really, again, like we mentioned before, it's not about the result. It's about how these guys were playing. I think they're a little pass happy tonight, looking for that perfect pass on the perimeter, which is not something you want to get into. We've seen that many years before. And considering that the Ducks, outshot the Sharks 34-19 on this night, you don't want to be like, okay, that was a good road win, sure, but definitely there's things to work on, So, but offensively, I think there's a little bit more. I know, Warsofsky was looking for more out of Musty. I thought he played a decent night. He finished up -1. Didn't get on the score sheet. Had 4 minutes in PIMS. I mean, but had 3 shots on goal, definitely contributing there. I think, what was it for the Ducks? Was it Cutter Gauthier had 11 shots on goal? Yeah, 12 shots on goal, excuse me, in playing 20 minutes. I mean, the kid, geez, that's crazy. And outside Leo Carlson, who scored one of the goals for the Ducks tonight, had the most time on ice with the forward lines. Lacombe nearly played half the game at 28:41. That's ridiculous. And Leno for Anaheim. And talk about burying yourself into it there for sure. That's insane. Uh, you know, Romanov looked great. 32 of 34, 941 save percentage. Definitely had some key saves there to keep the Sharks in the game. I mean, I think it was 11-3 the shots were in the third period, and so defensively the team's got to get better, not get hemmed in our own zone. It definitely felt like the second period of Tuesday night's game where the Sharks gave up 4 goals. Romanov held the fort down, kept it within reason. Let's be honest here. So unfortunately, no tacos tonight. But what is Lucy saying? I kind of love some of the Ducks players. It's going to be a fun match to watch with the Sharks in the future, yeah, especially with the same timeline a little bit with the with how they're progressing in their respective rebuilds. Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to see how these teams progress. Who's going to take that next step? Indeed. Sempcast, Pickles, Shamek injured, so Benny will be on that right side. Cagnoni deserves a spot in the NHL over Thrun to start the season. It depends on where they want what they need. Do they need more defensively sound? I think they'll probably go with Thrun, with defensive and physical side, or if they're looking for more offensive play, or someone who can run the power play, then yeah, you go with Cagnoni. And Cagnoni was one I was really gushing about last year when he was with the Portland Winterhawks. He definitely looked like a beast in the making. But I don't, and Jules is with me. I don't think should not be thrown into the NHL. I think you give him a bit, and there goes my contact. I think you give him a bit to get some seasoning in. Yeah, and let Cags eat in the. Oh, he's gonna cook. He's gonna cook. That's why I'm excited about the Barracuda this coming year. You have some decent defense. You throw in some veterans. Who knows where Bordelot will situates himself when he's returning from injury. You have a lot of kids that can make some big efforts in there. You throw in some of the veterans that the Kuda acquired. Carlson to name one. Colin White another. So it's going to be nice to see the CUDA do their thing and hopefully make a run for a AHL playoff spot. That'd be nice to see. So, John Swenson, hey bud, nice Oakland jersey. I should have called in sick and gone to the game. Yeah, we'll wrap it up with Oakland in a little bit, but yes, I concur indeed. Let's see. Simcast Musty, huge fan here. Yep, but he's a step behind. Looks a bit lost out there. Needs to work on out his explosiveness and his first few strides this season back in the OHL. Joined Team USA World Juniors. So yeah, I agree. I think he's not up there yet, and I think the same thing can be said for Casper Halttunen. And for that matter, if we're talking just play wise, maybe Sam Dickinson. Just a tad off, just a little tad off. But I think they're progressing. They all can't be Will Smith or Macklin Celebrini. It's give them time, let them season, let them cook, as you guys are saying earlier. Everything. Ruben, first listener. Good to see you, bud. Appreciate you checking in from the Central Time Zone tonight. Yeah. As the games tick by, yeah, Dickinson will be a little bit more comfortable, so it'll be fun. Unknown. I agree. It would be nice, but just how the deal works out, he'll be. He's just going to go off in the OHL again. Same thing with Halttunen and maybe Dickinson. So we'll see how that goes. So, What else do we got here? Yeah, the CHL agreement is dumb a little bit. Well, I get why, but yeah. But we'll see Cagnoni if that hints it a little bit. You know, we have Gannon LaRock, you have Jack Thompson for that blue line for the CUDA. It's nice, and especially considering how this team always seems to get injured. It's nice to see that there will be some options there. So it is a quick after dark. Well, obviously, there's no one else to banter with me, so I guess I agree with myself. I don't know. Um, and two, it's preseason. We aren't going to go crazy and break everything down uh, uh, for a victory. I mean, yes, they got a victory I almost said shootout because they played the shootout in overtime. Let's see here. What else do we got? Halls could maybe make the CUDA right. He's a big boy, made some nice hits out there, a couple decent shots. He's got a great shot. I just hope they don't telegraph it too much. He's kind of got that in that spot where again Ovechkin, Stamkos and he's got a shot on the power play that's going to make them pay dearly. So we'll see on that. Tristan Robbins, nice goal. I like when they crash the net and get in there. He'll be a tweener. I know Tiger was saying, the Thren as well. I mean, you could play back and forth with it, but who is he taking out in the lineup? Is he going to take out a veteran player? I don't think so. Although the Sharks need to figure out something because you're going to have the likes of, and this is just for all positions, but you have the likes of Grunstrom, Vlasic, in there along with Kunin and Sturm and why am I blanking on the one that I was? Oh, you're gonna have Goodrow and Delandria in there. That I just don't know where he gets out. So it's funny how he lost to Anaheim's NHL team, but their NHL team. Go figure. And I would again, like I said, this was more of an AHL squad than anything. So, so we'll see. But yeah, so I think that kind of covers it all. Again, we're not going to be on too much for these preseason games. I'm just glad that they're streamed. I know they're geo blocked because of regional right restrictions, but it's stupid. You want to grow the game. You just want to grow the game on there for the sake of everybody, because now's the time to jump on to the Teal bandwagon. I mean, the future is Teal. You should be a part of it. Indeed. So I think we'll call it like that for tonight. Since like half of the crew or 90% of the crew is asleep. So in case you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher. If you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment down below on what you thought of tonight's game, or who did you think really impressed you the most out of it. I think you can make a case for Romanov. You can make a case for Gushchin. You can maybe go for Cagnoni, Haltonen, you name it. So leave us your comment there, but always check us out whether you watch us on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. And of course, at tealtownusa.com. So let's see. Clean Costin looks like there's a fourth line. But I like how they had him with Celebrini when he was taking a hit. You got to protect the guy, and Costin can, as you've seen, can be a player that can score some goals for you too. I know it wasn't like a perfect setup, but I mean, I liked Costin, Celebrini, and Toffoli on Sunday night. I thought that looked really solid. What's up with Boards? He's injured. I think he's week to week on that. Gushchin needs some NHL games this year. I completely agree. You know, SJ Sharks 295. I live in the Bay Area. Cannot stream the game. It's on sjsharks.com or the SAP or Sharks SAP Center app. I think those are the two spots, or on NBC Sports California, their website and their NBC app will have it. And you know, it's all about growing the game. It's all about exposure and everything. Camo Pando, Miss You Athletics. Yeah. So final thought here, and it does kind of relate to the Sharks, but it's going to go back to what transpired in the Bay Area today, which is the big story, and that is the A's have played their final game in Oakland at the Coliseum. Not going to lie, as much as I'm a big Sharks fan, I consider myself wholeheartedly a split capper. I root for the A's and the Giants. You asked me growing up who were my two favorite players growing up watching. It was Will Clark and Ricky Henderson. I always wanted those padded neon green Ricky Henderson batting gloves when he was playing in Oakland. And you go through everything that the A's have gone through, or more specifically talking about their fans. It makes you appreciate what the Sharks have done over the years, where they've gone for it, where they've went and traded to go after some guys. Free agency, I mean, I'll give them that. They're smart with their free agent moves. I'll never forget Joel Ward and Paul Martin for the Cup run in 2015-16. Toffoli and Wenberg look like a nice spot to have in this rebuilding as we start building up the Sharks. But the thing is that the A's never did that. The A's never did that. They always had an excuse. Oh, we can't afford to pay these guys. Can't afford. Really? What's the difference between now and a few years ago? Because he had a nice young core with Matt Olson and Matt Chapman, Marcus Semien. You can go back a few years where he had Tejada and the big three. You can even go in between the time where you could build around Jonas Cespedes. I find that as a chicken shit excuse. Just like the chicken shit excuse that they had for their stadium proposals. Fremont had no public transportation. You went to San Jose and egging San Jose when you know full well, there was no way in hell you're going to build a ballpark, which was supposed to be right across the street from the Shark Tank and right next to the Diridon station. It would have been right there for it. You even proposed the stadium without consulting a college that you wanted to build the stadium on their land. Then you decided that Coliseum isn't viable, but we're going to buy half of it anyway, so that way we save our butts. But you never put out a proposal there. You were always set on Howard Terminal, and when the city got close, and let's be honest, Oakland politics isn't exactly the best thing in the world. When they got close, you're like, oh, no, oh, God, no, we don't have to go to Oakland. No. All of a sudden, let's start Vegas. Yeah. What was it? The first two, like the Wild West Casino and the Rio that they were going to build their ballpark in, weren't even exactly the best thing in the world. Oh, yeah, that's right. You didn't pick that. So let's go for the Tropicana, which has 9 acres. But wait a minute. I thought you guys needed the big buildings around for the stadium. I thought that's what you guys needed, right? That's why you were staying in Oakland, right? Because you needed the office and the housing there. No? I guess, that's interesting. I swear that's what you guys were wanting. It's a sad thing because we've seen it with the Arizona Coyotes, and if you go further back when the first Winnipeg Jets moved to Arizona, or you saw Quebec go to Colorado, or the North Stars go to Dallas. It rips the thing out of you, and it just reminds me of that Ted Lasso episode. And if you go search Oakland Ted Lasso, like on Instagram or TikTok, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where they refer to the episode where Rebecca's just going off on the other team owners, like, why are you trying to take a thing away that means so much to people? And it's just an awful, awful thing that happened. And I know there are a lot of A's fans that are Sharks fans. RF Will comes to play. Jen Truly, I know you do. Cass, I know you do. And shout out to all of you. Aaron, who, myself and my girlfriend Amanda and Jules, you saw when there was that Shark event in Oakland the last couple of years. She's always rocking her green and gold. So it pains me to see that the A's are leaving. It sucks. It's awful. Now, Eric, you're probably saying to yourself, why are you talking about the A's so much? Well, like the A's, the Sharks don't get any exposure unless it's something drastic, something wrong, something that's desperately needed to be done. No, the sports stations, the television stations, the regular mainstream media, they don't give a shit. They're too busy talking about Steph Curry's ankle brace. What's he doing? Oh, what are the Giants going to do? Are they going to fire Farhan? Oh, the Niners. And don't get me wrong, Niners rule the Bay Area, of course. But it just sucks. It's just a pain. But the Sharks have this opportunity now to be the Bay's team, to go from San Jose and grow their wings out. And heck, for the Barracuda too. And that's why when I've talked to Sharks Brass, I said, you got to spread your wings around the area. And with the A's leaving, get your exposure out to Oakland. Hell, they had a preseason game there in 2000. I think I remember Seamus Kotick was a goaltender for the Sharks in that preseason game in Oakland. So we know the arena can make ice. I mean, constantly seen how many times, Disney on ice over there. I mean, heck, I think during COVID when sports were banned in Santa Clara County, the Sharks were considering going to play their games in Oakland because they possibly could. I think the neighborhood game was a huge turnout, nearly 10,000 people. Just think of that being in Oakland. I mean, that would just be phenomenal to have it in a quote-unquote neutral site game. And they can fit hockey in that building. It'd be nice to see them to knock it out for a preseason game. I think that looked really great. But of course, with the ballpark, I put this together for Brody a few years ago when we were getting excited for it. But the idea of a Winter Classic at the Oakland ballpark at Howard Terminal, and I can't believe Brody's begging for tickets. That's just crazy. I mean, come on now. Brody, what are you doing? And Brody, if you're watching, I feel for you tonight. You and your wife and your extended family. Melvin, their dog, named after Bob Melvin, the former A's and current Giant skipper. But this is a time where the passion that the A's fans had, come to the Teal side. Come to the Teal side. We want to see that passion. I want to see a roaring Shark Tank. I don't think the drums are allowed, but it'd be great to have that loud and crazy atmosphere at a Shark Tank for games. That'd be really special. It'd really make an intimidating place again in there. So there's my there's me being on my soapbox for Oakland tonight. But A's fans, it's a bluer shade of green if you want to look at it. We embrace all of you. Come over to the Sharks site. It'd be great to have you there. And I know some of you are already there already, but I would love to see you more of the Shark Tank down the road. And the season is just on the cusp of starting. We're just 2 weeks away. I think the next preseason game is on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. I think against the Utah Hockey Club. It is. Let me make sure I get October 1st at 7 p.m. Sharks versus Utah, and then a back-to-back situation where the Ducks play the Sharks again. Wow, we're really getting to the Ducks, huh? On October 4th, that's 7 p.m. puck drop in San Jose. The next night, the Sharks finish up the preseason, taking on the Vegas Golden Knights in Las Vegas. So be on the lookout for that one. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, and be sure to check us out following each and every single Sharks game, home and away. We appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for watching. I know, preseason, let's not get crazy here. But hey, Sharks win. We can celebrate that, King. All right? Thank you to everyone. And until then, keep it real. Keep it teal. Keep it real, Teal. Have a great night, everyone.